We thought it was important to bring the two great cities of Leeds and Manchester together because the whole Northern Powerhouse agenda seems to have gone a bit quiet. So it was a key thing for us today to bring business leaders and local authorities and indeed parliamentarians together to start to have a conversation as to how we can kickstart that whole agenda again. We're going to have a new government probably sometime this year. And so again, I thought it was good that we managed to get the Shadow Business Minister here to see the strength of the business community from the whole of the north of England, but as I say, in particular, Manchester and Leeds. So good event, some great people in the room, and hopefully, the start of the conversation, as I say, will reignite that Northern Powerhouse conversation.
Procolette made the decision to sponsor the event as we thought it would fit within the ethos of the organisation. We have a strong presence across both Manchester, Leeds and Liverpool.
So we decided to sponsor the event today because as a business we turned 50 this year, we've got a huge presence in Manchester, but we've got appetite and desire to do business, not just in Manchester, but across other key regions. So it just made sense to sponsor the event today down in London.
I think it's really important to support our partners, so Manchester and Leeds City Councils, and understand what their needs are going forward as well, so that Muse Places, private sector, can respond to those challenges.
I think the great thing about coming down to London is that you're in the corridors of power, so you attract certain people that potentially you wouldn't get in a room otherwise. So there's some investors here from London, as well as obviously lords and MPs, ministers, shadow ministers and so on. So it's always good to come to the Commons because you attract a different type of person to the event.
I thought it went really well. People were able to hear about what's happening in Leeds and Manchester, hear directly from us about what's happening here, about how we're working together, how we could actually have that really common mission across the north of England to have a strong and growing economy. And what both of us as historic cities, but also ones with a bright future, can add to that.
Events like this bring a diverse range of people together, and that creates a great debate. We look at the challenges that are facing our towns and cities. That diversity of our attendees is so incredibly important to that.
Downtown do a great range of events where they bring the private sector and the public sector together to really work through the how are we going to deliver. It's not just about having an ambition, is it? You've got to be able to deliver on your ambition. So I always come and speak at a Downtown event, partly to sell what we're about, partly to talk about the opportunities, but more often than not, it's to make sure we network and collaborate to turn those ambitions into delivery.